This is the Queen's Talk show with me, Veronica Kigoma. I trust that you are ready to get great news about women. This is the kind of show that we get to focus on matters, women, growth, networking, and awareness. Who is a woman? Now, today, I'm so impressed being in this show. And before I came into the show, I met a certain woman, and the woman was crying. And my question was, what's the issue? Okay. Why am I giving this story? I'm giving the story because the show is focusing mostly on women, the awareness, networking, and the growth of a woman. Now, as I was coming, I met a woman, and this woman was crying. And my question was, why are you crying this very morning? The woman was so disturbed, so stressed up, and the man had beaten her up. As I asked the question to the woman started crying now, just because someone is asking, what's the reason of you crying now? The woman cried, I gave her time to cry, but I waited until she had time to explain to me. And the kind of description I got was, you know, these men don't understand us. So I am crying because we just had a little argument, and we were arguing with this person, and instead of this person seeking to understand what is my issue, he started beating me up. Now, today, being the Queen's Talk show, I want us to understand something. Who do you think is a woman? First of all, follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube, hashtag the Queen's Talk show. Don't forget to tell us where you're watching us from. Is the show lit? Is it nice? Okay, is it nice? And what would you like specifically we talk about? Or do you have any question in relation to women? Kindly feel free to even text us on the number that is running below your screen. First of all, after I heard that story, it hit my mind of men, they seem to be so understanding. But what happened between that woman and that man? Now, the concern about this woman was, men, okay, my man, that man, her man, was not understanding. Now, who is a woman? Because first of all, you can't just understand someone if you don't know who he is. You men, would you like us to understand you? So who are you to us? And we women, who are you? Who are we to you men? Now, I went into, okay, I was just researching, and I had to look at what entails to be a woman, and first of all, who is a woman, what makes a woman. And today we are so privileged because we have an expert who is going to be discussing about what makes a woman. Now, as I was going through my research, I found out that in Urban Dictionary, the definition that is being given of who a woman is, before we get into what makes a woman, because this is where it all begins. Who is a woman and what makes this woman? Also, as I give my description or what I got from the research, don't forget to text us using the number that is running below your screen. Who is a woman and what do you think makes a woman? Then, as the expert will be getting in, she shall be explaining to us who is a woman better, and also explain what makes this woman. Do you think that it is true what has been said over and over, that what a man can do, women can do better? Do you think it's true? Okay, very many people have been arguing about the same, and I'm not for that. I'm not for their argument, but I'm for what a man can do. It is true that women can do better. Okay, I'm sorry, there are very many people maybe who will argue with me. You know what, Vero, you're kinda so biased. It's not true that you can do better than us men. I'm open to that, and also the expert will be explaining whether it is true, whether what a man can do, women can do better. Also give us your view on the number that is running below your screen, or even text us on our social media handles. Don't forget, the hashtag is the Queen's Talk Show. Now, I was just at the middle of explaining you what I found out from Urban Dictionary, the definition of a woman. This is not my view, remember. This is the view of Urban Dictionary. And according to what I got, is a woman is a person who would never put other down for any reason, uplifting to all, empowering and loving, gaining pleasures from others. Okay. When I found out that this is the definition of a woman, it hit me whatever came to me the very morning, just as I've explained to you about this woman who had been beaten up by the husband, because the husband, they had a little misunderstanding with each other, but the man did not give or take heed to understanding what was the cause of the woman doing the thing that she did. Now, according to the definition of a woman, that a woman is a person who never put other down for any reason, then it must be so true that whatever this woman was explaining to that man, and as much as it was not true or maybe it was not applicable, I feel like that man did not do the right thing. Must you beat a woman as a man? Okay, must you beat us to be identified as a man? Okay, that is where I am. I'm not against that, because there may be what is prompting you into beating a woman, but must you do it? Don't you think that words of mouth are enough to explain whatever point you would like this woman to know? And what of when you listen from us and get to know maybe why did I get to this level of doing whatever I did that was not right according to you? Now, let's stick to this, but before we stick into that, we shall also be getting views from you. According to you, the views that you shall be texting us of what you think, of who you think is a woman and what makes a woman. Don't forget to text us. And also the other question is, do you think it's true, these arguments that have been there for long, that what a man can do, women can do better? Don't also forget to do that. Now, what makes a woman? Before we get an expert opinion, I came across a song that was sung by an American singer named Katy Perry from her 6th studio album. She sang a song and described what makes a woman. Later on, we shall be going through the song and getting to know what was Katy Perry. What was Katy Perry's view on what makes a woman? Now, sometimes back, it happened that I love associating with people, and there is this one woman that is my best friend, and I can tell her anything, and I am open to her advices, everything. Okay, even if I had planned to do something and she comes, she tells me, now, Vero, whatever you are planning to do, I don't think this is the best for you. I always listen from her, regardless of the very many reasons that I can give, that you know what, this was my wish, or this was my plan, or the reason as to why I wanted to do this thing, it's because of this. Now, this woman tend to have a part in me that I listen from her so much. Now, we were just discussing on matters women, and we came to a question on what is unique about women. Remember, this is not the main thing that we are going to give you in this Queen's Talk Show, but we are going to be explaining to you what really makes a woman. But allow me to tell you what this woman was telling me about the uniqueness of a woman. Now, she told me the number one thing is women, they are so patient. Women, this is one thing that is so unique about women. Is it true? Every woman that is watching me can tell me whether it is true. Is it true that women are so patient? Does it mean that men are not? Okay. For me, let me give you my view. Yes, we are. We are very patient. And especially to maybe when it comes to matters relationship, can be patient with a man that we love, or else not necessarily a relationship between me and a man, but also between me and my friend. I can be patient with my friend as long as there is something I get from that friend, or that is how we relate with each other. But when it comes to men, it's a bit different. This is my view. But what's your view? Let me add this to the questions I had asked. Kindly remember to give us your view, and in a short while I'll be reading some people's view. You know, we can't read all of them, but maybe we shall get to know what you think about this. What you think, who is a woman? We've just seen from Urban Dictionary. And what do you think makes a woman, before we get an expert view? And do you think, or is it true that what a man can do, women can do better? I'm waiting to hear from you. Then the other thing the woman told me is women, they are so influential. Now, this took me to a biblical perspective of a queen. Bearing in mind that this is a queen's talk. Who is a queen? The biblical perspective of a queen is queen, they are so influential. For example, a story is being given in the Bible about Esther. Esther was a queen, and there arose some issues between Esther and the wife of a king. Now, Mordecai, okay, this is a story that is being given in the Bible. You can later on refer from it. Now, Mordecai called Esther and told her, you know what, whatever you are going to do, this is what I think. Now, according to Mordecai, this is what I think that we should do. Now, Mordecai was at the point of, I think what we should do is let's pray. Then, after Esther prayed, a plea came from the king, and now all queens were supposed to meet the king. And now Esther is here. They are praying because of a certain issue that is in that land. Now they want to solve that issue. Now, the king has come or has made a declaration that, you know what, I want all kings because my wife is kinda doing whatever I think should not be done by my queen. So I want another queen. And so all women, it was a day that all queens were expected to meet the king. And what happened to Queen Esther? They were, I tend to believe, according to the mental picture that is being given in that story, is there had some queens that had gone before Esther because they were getting to the king's room, to the king's chamber one by one. Now the time came when Queen Esther entered. And Queen Esther, according to the Bible, it's being written that she had not applied anything like makeup per se. I don't know whether that those days they were using these things, but it's written that Esther had not done anything to beautify herself, but she just appeared to the king. And at the king's sight, the first sight, the very moment that the king saw Esther, the king got impressed. And the very first word the king said was, whatever you want, Esther, I'm ready to give you even to the half of my kingdom. Now, this is where influence comes from. Remember, we were just discussing of what the unique character in women. And according to that woman, she told me that women are so influential. Now, the influence comes in this part, that when Queen Esther got into that chamber and the king got to see her rather, the king got impressed, and the very first words the king made was, I'm ready to give you even to the half of my kingdom. For instance, a woman cry or scream right now, everybody will be gathered to come and see, what's the issue? What is making you cry or scream? They'll be concerned. But a man can scream over the same thing, and many people can come and beat him up because you should be a man enough. Maybe that's what they can say. So I'm trying to show you something about women. So I am in a total agreement of whatever this woman told me of what makes a woman. And so we've tackled about women are so patient and they are influential. What do you think? What other thing do you think make a woman unique? Now it's on you. Kindly text us your view, hashtag The Queen's Talk Show. Yeah, this is DAESAK TV and you're with me, Veronica Kigomo. We are taking a very short commercial break and we shall be right back. Be sure to stick here at DAESAK TV. List show that you have today, and today we are privileged that we have a guest expert who shall be explaining to us matters women. Just a reminder that this is DAESAK TV, your one and only TV station that is giving you best shows, and this is one of the latest show, the Queen's Talk Show, with me, Veronica Kigomo. But before we go that, I have something good for you. Suppose it was your birthday. Would you like to be given 700,000 or to be given a Pro Box? Suppose it was you. Would you like this 700,000 in cash, or would you like me to buy for you a Pro Box? Now, this is upon you. Now, Austin Onyango Ngwala from Kawangware is a boda rider who won the same amount I'm telling you, 700,000. Now, he plans to use it to pay for a loan for a boda. Now, he's currently using it and investing in to buy another one. Now, this lies to you. Are you in need of money, or is your birthday so near? And we are heading to Christmas. This is a good thing for you to do. Now, the only thing you need to have the amount is play this game, Lotto. Try Lotto, and this will give you something that you'll never believe. Maybe you were here, you're thinking of taking 500. Taking 5 years to get into where you would like to be. But Lotto is giving you a chance to becoming wealthy as early as now. What you need to do is just take your phone, go to Lipa na M-Pesa pay bill, and put this number 777-000 and account number put D.TV in caps, and be the first one to win this game. Now, you'll get a Pro Box, or rather you get 700,000. Don't be left behind. Before that, remember, this is the Queen's Talk Show, the realest show, with me, Veronica Kigoma. In the studio, we are privileged to have an amazing woman. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Veronica Kigoma. Thank you, Daesak TV. My name is Julian Diba. I am excited to be at Queen's Talk Show because we are going to have a queenly talk here, right here at Daesak TV.
Wow, that's so amazing. I have a guest named Julia Diba, and we have guests watching. We have viewers watching us.
Yes.
And maybe they would like to know, who is Julia Diba?
Julia Diba is a journalist by profession and a champion of women's rights. Yeah.
Wow. A journalist by profession.
Yes.
And
a champion of women's rights.
Wow.
And women. I know someone is already asking, why women? Yes, because women hold the society together.
Wow. Women, we got you covered. And also, men, we are welcoming you to get to know who is a woman. Maybe you've been asking yourself, these women, almost every woman I come across, they are not, I'm not understanding them. This is the way they are. Maybe I've been breaking up from this relationship to another relationship because there is something you've not understood about women. Now, we got you covered. A man watching us, we got you covered. Women, we got you covered, because you shall be able to get an identity, maybe know something that you didn't know that you are able to do as a woman. Because many times we fail because you don't know that you can do something.
Yes,
now,
that's true.
Julia Diba, a journalist by profession.
Yes.
That tells us that you can give us some advices regarding the journalistic ethics. Yeah, and also describe what a woman needs to do to become the best woman the world would, the world has never dreamed of. And I'm just excited about this. I'm just excited.
Oh, okay. Let me start by inviting all the men to watch Queen's Talk Show, because Queen's Talk Show is not just a show for the women exclusively. It is for everyone in the society. Why am I saying that? Because we share the world with the men. I cannot be here without a dad. I cannot be here without a husband. Right? So these people are important in our lives.
Yeah.
And so Queen's Talk Show is for everyone. Only that maybe we are focusing on women. And the question that's begging for an answer most of the time, I don't know why the society has a habit of mystifying a woman. Maybe because the definition of a woman keeps changing as time goes on.
Wow. You've mentioned something.
Yes.
That the definition of a woman keeps changing.
Yes, it keeps changing, and sometimes people feel lost.
Yeah.
What is interesting is to note that the definition of men as the keepers of the society, as the warriors of the society, has never changed. But the definition of a woman seems to keep on changing as seasons come and go.
Yeah.
And maybe we should start by defining who a woman is, for that matter.
Yeah, actually that's what I wanted to tell you, because earlier we had seen from an urban dictionary of what it says concerning who a woman is. And, we are also expecting to hear from our viewers what they think is a woman, because as we know, there are things we learn as times goes by, and others we unlearn. And sometimes we find that the way you are living, it's because of who you think you are.
Yes, exactly.
And the way I am living, it's because of who I think I am. So it would be better if you kindly explain to us, who is a woman, according to you, and an expert opinion.
According to me, let me start by according to me, because I don't know, people have different definitions about who a woman is. A woman is an intellectual being and also an intelligent being, just like a man in the society.
Wow.
Let's stop there.
Okay.
Just that. Why am I saying that? Because when you look at what the things that bring a difference in the way we relate with the male world, it's all because of the perception. The society has been trained to perceive a woman as a lesser being, or as a person who is not intellectually endowed like a man. And if you look at the past society, they used to bring up a girl to believe in herself as one step behind a boy. Okay. And because of that socialization, many women don't believe they have the intellectual capacity and the intelligent enough, just like the men in the society. That is why I said maybe we should limit our definition to that. The rest is just the biological differences, that the man is the giver of the seed and the woman incubates the seed to make a baby. So that's just as a biological function, and it should never define who a woman is. Yes, because a woman is an intellectual and intelligent being, just like a man.
So amazing. Women, have you heard something about you? That you are an intelligent being. You are an intellectual being. It's something good to know. Does a woman have an identity?
Just as I've just told you, the problem, or rather maybe not a problem, okay, I don't know which exact word to use, but the issue is the woman didn't have an identity. As I've just told you, women were taught to believe that they are lesser than men. And they were dominated. They accepted to be dominated by the males in the society. That's why you hear people believing that a woman should be patient, a woman should be kind. We were coerced into this kind of a way of thinking. We were not given the freedom to express ourselves as equal beings with our male counterparts. So this thing of a woman is a lowly, docile being who behaves in a particular way, who carries herself in public in a particular way, all those are conditioned things in us. But if we're given the freedom to be ourselves, just like humans who have equal capacity with the male and who are intelligent enough, just like the men, you realize that a woman will stop building her identity around marriage and children. Because the problem of the early society is that the woman used to peg her identity or tie her identity to marriage and children, motherhood, mama so-and-so, wife of so-and-so, Mrs. so-and-so. Without that, the woman never used to feel complete. And she used to feel like a failure in the society. Why? Because nobody really taught her to see herself as a more upgraded being than just being, you know, that woman, that wife in the house. Yes.
Wow. You've mentioned something of, as many are raising their children, they raise girl child thinking of she's one step behind maybe a boy child. What would you advise parents that are raising children, because it all starts there?
I would tell parents of today, and I thank God because we have made this, we have progressed from that kind of a mentality. We have realized that a boy and a girl have the same capacity mentally. They score the same grades in school. They do better, sometimes even girls do better. So when you're raising your children, don't teach your boys to dominate your girls in the house. Don't teach your boys to dominate their sisters, the brothers to dominate their sisters. You find a boy sending the younger sister or the older sister, go fetch me that cup, because maybe that's what dad does to mom. You know, the father will send the wife, go get me this credit card, go get me this from the bedroom. And the boy learns that that's the way a man should behave. And so you find them taking on that trend of dominating the girl child in the family. Or you find the mother making the girl do all the house chores because they are for the girls. It's like they believed we were customers, we were made to do house chores. So you find that while the boys are watching cartoons and playing video games, the girl is in the kitchen doing the dishes, sweeping the floor, show. And the boy is idle over the weekend. Maybe he can go out, play football, catch up with friends because he's a boy. But the girl is busy in the kitchen. And that mentality now brings about the inequality whereby the girl feels so obliged to serve the male in the society, while the boy feels he has the freedom to dominate the females in the society. So it's all about the way we bring them up.
Wow, as we go on, remember this is the Queen's Talk Show with me, Veronica Kigoma, and we are getting to hear what makes a woman, what really makes a woman. Don't forget to text us on the number that is running below your screen. Tell us your view. What do you think makes a woman? What makes a woman unique?
What makes a woman unique is when she starts to discover herself. When I say discover herself, I mean when a woman realizes that she is equally endowed like a man, and she has the freedom to use what she's gifted with. Women have talents and gifts. Women have the capacity to learn because they have the brain faculty, just like a man's brain. So, and they have the intellectual, the intelligence. They are able to learn new skills and even to employ those skills. Once a woman starts to see herself as an equal, she starts to realize that she needs to build an identity beyond the level of nature, whereby we just, give birth, bring forth, and enlarge society in those kind of ways. She starts looking at herself as a very capable person who can impact the society in a positive way. Once you come to that point of self-realization of who you are, you also start working on self-actualization of what you believe in. And that's now when we say a woman becomes unique in the sense that she's no longer confined to the kitchen, and she's no longer living in the shadow of the male in the society. She can stand out and shine as a queen should.
It's normally told that what a man can do, woman can do better. It's been an argument. Okay, men say that's not true, but women say that it is true. What do you think?
Let me not really say that what men can do, women can do better. Let me just say that women can do it just like the men. And if they work hard on it, they can do even better. It's only means that it's not a competition that, no, as women are stronger than men. Actually, it has been discovered we can do it better. No. Whatever they say, the muscles that you exercise grow stronger. The muscles that are exercised usually grow stronger. So if you focus more on what you're doing, you can even find yourself doing it better than the men, contrary to what you are taught. You are taught that you cannot score in maths. But now girls are scoring in maths and proceeding to become engineers and architects in the society. So we have changed. A lot has changed about women.
Wow. Yes. Great news to know this. That what men can do, even women can do it. It's not that they can do it better, but once you put more focus on whatever you're doing, it's true that you can do better. So it's not that a woman can do better.
No, it's not.
Also a man can do better.
Even if any can outdo the other. Yes, as long as you put your energy and focus on
nice one. I hope now men, the argument
they can
is
breathe.
Now, you can now breathe. At least. I believe you're fair.
Yes, that is true. That's the way it is.
If you would have said it's true, men.
We have this thing of stereotyping and creating myths around the two genders. Oh, men are like this, women are like this. That kind of stereotyping is not good for our coexistence because it is based on falsehood and imagination that are not going to help us in achieving a better way of doing things together as a society.
I have another question. In the society, it's believed that a woman is a helper. This has become an issue according to what we can see all over the world. Women are being killed by men, and it's only because they have failed. According to men, they have failed to do their part or to perform their part, because as a helper, they're supposed to do almost everything in that house. Come from church, they were with the man, come, cook, and do some other things. What do you think? Is a woman really a helper, or were they designed to be a helper for real?
According to the Holy Book, the woman is meant to be the helper of the men. Unfortunately, nowadays, I think the women are the main workers.
Okay.
So, you have to understand the meaning of helping, being a helper. Just like the way you see women employing house helps in the house to help them out, but then they forget they are not the main workers or the owners of the house.
So this tells me that there is this woman who is a helper and the main worker.
now the whole issue, you know, now this issue of she's a helper. Then let me remind you, men, when you say that a woman is a helper, that sounds so good. But then remember, some women are doing the main work. The main work of raising their children as single mothers because their husbands left for some not very good reasons.
Oh, right.
And about the issue of the conflict whereby you find that women are getting killed, it is all about the fight for the struggle for power. You know, there is this issue of now, as we are talking about the empowered girl child of today, you go to the same school, you met your husband in that university, so you know you are as good as that husband, and he also knows he's as good as you in everything. You scored the same marks, maybe even have a better job. So when you come to the marriage setup now, the man wants to take the role he used to see his father play. He's now failing to comply with the times and the seasons whereby the girl child is empowered, and we have come to the point of knowing that we are just like the men. But when you come to marriage, and I don't know why the marriage itself, the men now start playing the roles they saw their father playing and expecting the women to take the roles they saw their mothers taking. So the man wants to dominate you the way the father used to dominate the mother, send you around and make you do some chores for him to feel that he's the man of the house. And you're there insisting, no, maybe the house help should do this, or you can also rise and do what you want to do for you. You can wipe those shoes for yourself. Why? I came from work, I'm tired just like you are tired. No, you want equality in that marriage. You want to be equal partners, but the husband is insisting that you kind of come a step behind, okay? And that brings a lot of power struggle in most marriages, and this is what leads to most of those domestic violence cases.
Wow, thank you so much for a very good explanation concerning that. And maybe the last thing you can tell us is, what can you tell that woman that is feeling, you know, I've been in this marriage, but this term helper, my man calls me, I am a helper, and so I do almost everything, and now I'm at the verge of giving up because the work is too much. I'm expected to do this. I'm supposed to balance between my career and whatever other thing I'm doing. So what can you tell them? Maybe
I would like to tell all those women in those kind of marriages that quitters never win. And I wouldn't want to sound like we came here to bash down marriages. Marriage is still a beautiful experience. It's still a beautiful thing if you can work out things and make sure that you can be able to resonate in harmony like the strings of a guitar in that house. It doesn't have to be fights every day. You have got to formulate a way of solving your conflicts and also understanding where I'm coming from. For example, if your husband comes home and finds that you have not cooked, try to make him understand that probably your work schedule and the time you take to reach home causes you to delay. And you cannot be able to be home to do what the mother used to do when he was a young child. People need to understand where they are coming from and who they are as per now, not as per according to the expectations of their culture and traditions. Let us be time compliant. Let us be season compliant. Women have been empowered. They can no longer serve only in the kitchen, only serve within the compound of the family of the family home. They have gone beyond the boundaries of that kind of a setup. So we should start embracing one another as times have continued to change.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Remember, you're watching the Queen's Talk Show with me, Veronica Kigoma, and this is DAESAK TV. Keep it here at DAESAK. We are going to a very short commercial break and we shall be right back. Don't go far. Talk show, the realest show in DAESAK TV. I am your host, Veronica Kigoma, and remember we have a guest today named as Julia Ndiva, and he's talking on matters women. And before we get there, I'm just reminding you of Smart Choice got you covered of. It's giving you a pre-Christmas goodie bag of a chance to be among 3 lucky winners, and the first winner will be getting 300,000. The second winner should be getting 200,000, and the third winner is getting 100,000. And it's just very, very simple. And you just need to take just 99 shillings, 99 bob, only that. Go to your M-Pesa, lipa na M-Pesa pay bill. Put 97377 and account number, put the name WIN in caps, and you will be among the 3 lucky winners of 300,000, 200,000 and 100,000. Don't be left behind. Remember, we are getting into Christmas, and we need something visible. You need to put on well, you need to eat well, and you need to do some various things that are very important to you. You alone can be able to know this. So just give your 99 shillings and just try out things. It might work. Don't get off stories of, you know, these things don't work. I'm guaranteeing you that this is gonna work. Be among the 3 lucky winners. Remember, this is the Queen's Talk Show, and we are getting to know who is a woman. And kindly follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and also text us your comment, your view, where you're watching us from. Is the show lit, or what do you think? Also, what would you like us to talk about? Text us please on the number that is running below your screen. And remember, I had a question of what do you think is a woman? We've gotten a definition from you that a woman is an intellectual being. But what do you think is a woman? And the second question has been answered, that what a man can do, also a woman can do. And doing it better way, you've said that it's only that you will choose or decide to put more focus on that, so you can do it the best way, either a man or a woman. But let's get to this. A woman and the domestic chores.
Yes.
What about that?
Women and domestic chores is just a socialization, just as I was telling you, the way we were brought up. We were taught to believe that a girl child should work within the confines of the kitchen, and a boy child should go out of the house and do chores out there. That's where the difference comes in.
Yeah.
And then it becomes too much for the girl child, because as she grows up, she's taught to serve the male, and to even forget herself. And then we teach the boy child not to do anything for himself.
Yeah.
And becomes that kind of a man who cannot participate in house chores. And this creates a lot of conflict, especially now as adults of today. Whereby what you expect from your wife, she can no longer give it, because now she's going to school and she's also busy trying to make a life, a name and a life for herself. And you're there thinking she came into your life to serve you as a husband. You expect her to serve you as a wife and to serve your children as their mother. And now the definition of a woman, or the identity of a woman, has shifted from that. This is why we are having a conflict.
Wow.
So house chores should be shared, please. Let us share these house chores. And when the husband feels that he cannot partake house chores, please support your wives. Try to help them out by employing a house help. It is allowed. Let people live in harmony and not fight over these petty things that keep coming in their way. They can be handled, they can be sorted out, and people can be able to live in harmony. Yes.
Okay, it's normally believed that to a person you love, you can do anything.
Yes.
But what happens when it comes to the chores, the house chores? Does it really mean that men don't love their wife? That's why they don't have
the men, it isn't that men don't love their wives. Let us correct that one. It is about the way they believe that men should be. Actually, most men feel very odd to cook in the presence of a woman. Do you know that even when a girl visits the boyfriend, he expects her to take over? Because now, this is a woman I intend maybe to settle down with. She should show me what she has to offer. And in terms of her culinary skills in the kitchen, and maybe the way she handles house chores. But that mentality should now change, because it is no longer serving the purpose. Because it's what it's doing, it's creating conflict in marriages. Why am I saying this? The girl child has been empowered. She's going to end up working in a certain office somewhere. She's going to be a boss somewhere, manager somewhere, just like a man, just like any other man in the society. So it's no longer an issue of you trying to show her that she should stick to the kitchen or just doing house chores for you. Try to empower her by allowing her freedom to go out there and explore and discover herself without confining her to these house chores. It's just the change in mentality that we should do to be able to live together in harmony. That's for the men.
And at least know that nowadays, at least, my salary isn't mine alone. We are sharing.
Actually, the truth of the matter is that women are supporting their families just like the men. That's the truth. Who doesn't know that in this current society? That women are also taking their children to school. They're giving them the best education. They are building homes for them. They are setting up businesses, and those businesses are becoming very successful. Women have been empowered. Let the male fraternity start to take that in. Let us move away from the cultural way of looking at things to this modern way of adopting to things, so that we can be able adapting to things. Sorry, so that we can be able to live in harmony. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another question is, how should a woman be able to balance all these things? Because this woman is working, first of all, and as you've just said, that this woman is expected to be the mother to the children and to be the wife to this husband. And remember, we have something to the society that we need to fulfill. How will this woman be able to balance all these things?
I understand where you're coming from with that question, because there was this pressure for women to prove themselves, to be a jack of all trades, to prove that they are good here, they are good there, they are good everywhere. And maybe nobody understands the pressure it gives a woman, and especially when you're a career woman, to be able to prove to your in-laws that you are giving their son the very best, to prove to your mother that you didn't disappoint her, she brought you up well, you know, to showcase that you are a woman indeed. But then that pressure is going to kill you. And this is what's happening when you cannot take it anymore. You pack your things and leave the man alone. Instead of coming to that, don't kill yourself to prove yourself to anybody. Just understand yourself. Once you understand yourself, delegate some of the duties that you can be able to delegate. For example, if you're a working woman, why not have a house help? And respect those house help, please, once you employ them. Let her partake some of the duties that you should be partaking. And also the men, the husbands, pick those kids from school.
Yeah.
Sit down with them and do homework with them. Go to that butchery and buy some meat. Go get that gas cooker, gas cylinder. Go refill the gas. Do things for one another in that spirit of unity and oneness and togetherness as a family. Instead of, this is not my duty. Why am I supposed to, why am I expected to do this while she should be doing this? That mentality is backward. Let me just say that. Yeah, we should upgrade and become a different people, because that's where we are as a society. Yes, yes.
And wow, thank you so much for keeping here DAESAK TV, the Queen's Talk Show, with me, Veronica Kigomo, and I'm just reminding you of Lotto, playing Lotto. Suppose your birthday is near and you want something. Would you like to be given 700,000 or else be bought a Pro Box? This is your choice, but Lotto is giving you something. And for instance, Austin Onyango Ngwala from Kawangware is a boda boda rider, and he just won 700,000. Now he's using the money, and he took a boda boda, he's paying it, and now he's also investing in getting another boda boda, because there have been an issue of late of men that are snatching other people's phones.
Yes,
because they think, I have pressure from home, I have to provide, I don't have work, so the only thing I should do, or I need to do, is to snatch a man's phone, go sell it maybe at a cheaper price, and maybe that day it is settled, I'll get something.
You can be sure that you can't survive that way for long before the law catches up with you. And it is a wrong way of trying to do survival. You don't go such serious issues that way. You have to find a lasting solution to those kind of problems. And we are all experiencing some economic hardships. So nobody is facing these in isolation. So, yes.
Wow, and this solution, let it be you trying this one. Maybe it might work for you. Play Lotto. Just for once, you only need 50 bob, 50 Kenyan shillings. Go to your Lipa na M-Pesa pay bill and put this number 777 and account number is D.TV. That's account number, and pay bill number is 777 Try your luck. Remember, this is the Queen's Talk Show. Let's get to this last question in this segment of very many women have gone through various things in life, hardship, and others are at the verge of losing
violence.
Yeah, domestic violence, all those things. How can this woman be in a position to produce the best or give the best out of the worst?
What I can say is, first and foremost, women, let us understand ourselves. There's a conflict between us and the male world. And sorry to say this, but there's a power struggle, as I told you, whereby we're in a transition stage, whereby it's transition period, whereby we are trying to let the men see that we are also capable. And sometimes we are not coming up that much quicker, the way we want them to understand us. Some men are stuck in the past, in that you know, belief that a man should be this and that, a woman should be this and that. And as a result of that, we are getting to this domestic abuse and all these kind of other problems that you are facing with. But I'll tell you what, you have to understand yourself as a person who has intellectual capacity and who is intelligent enough to get out of the mess that you are in. First and foremost, we are not here to break marriages. So I'm not advocating for you quitting your marriage, but I'm talking about getting empowered as a woman. Instead of wasting so much time fighting over what's lacking in the house and the man feeling that maybe you're not the best kind of a woman, do something about your life. Do something about the children. Go acquire some skills. Empower yourself. And when I say acquire a skill, I don't mean that maybe you must have some certificates to prove that you went through schooling. No, you have the intellectual capacity to make something out or something for yourself out of yourself. We say that you have to pull yourself out of the mess with the strings of your boot. By the strings of your boot, do something about your life. And it's all about women empowerment. Get into a small business, do something with your mind, do something with your hands. And you'll find that most of the crises in your life are going to dissolve. Why? Because they have a reason. Yes, and maybe the economic crisis of the time, plus the misunderstanding of those families. And the man will start respecting you when you prove that you can be able actually to survive independent of him. Can I tell you something? We men admire women who prove to make something out of their lives.
Wow. Wow, get that woman.
That's the truth. Yes.
Wow, wow. Now, there is this woman back at home, and she feels like, you know, I was once married, now I'm not married.
Yes.
And we had invested so much when we were together, and it's kind of lost all things. So maybe she's asking herself, should I compromise? Because they're kind of fearing to start at the bottom. They're fearing to be like, I was driving, now I'm walking. So the only thing I can do, it is to engage myself or to be with a person that seems to have something, or push with a married man. That's what I mean. What can you advise such a woman?
I would say this. People marry for wrong reasons. Marriage is for companionship. And it should never be a means of survival. I told you the problem with women, especially in their upbringing, is the mentality that you don't have an identity if you don't have a husband and children. And so because of that, you were never taught how to find yourself or to define yourself independent of that setup, of that marriage and you know, kind of a setup. So you have a problem when you no longer have this man, okay, as your husband, and when you are not Mrs. So-and-so, you have a problem, you feel like a failure somewhere. But that's not the way it should be. You should live for something bigger and larger than just a husband and children. And that means that you discover that you have the potential to make something out of your life. If we can come to that point whereby women believe in themselves, and did something to empower themselves in this life, to acquire something, to achieve something for themselves. They would have no crisis when a marriage can no longer work. They would just walk out and go make something of themselves. But the problem is, you married that man, you got married to that man because of what he had as a means of survival, and also as an identity, as a way of, you know, as part of your public relations, your PR. So you are unable to get off that kind of a setup. And that one now starts oppressing your life. You start doing things that you should not be doing because you don't know any other way to do things. You start running around with maybe married men for the same purpose of being secured and being under a cover. You start maybe, you know, engaging in some, you know, things I don't want to mention here, just so that you can be able to look like you are a beautiful woman, you are smart and everything. But once you have a deeper purpose and a meaning to your life, you will not feel so left out if you are no longer a married person.
Wow, wow. I would like you to give the last remark as we come to the conclusion of the women's talk today. Talk. I hope you're getting something. And remember to play Lotto, which is offering you a good amount. Suppose you're getting into something, you are so stressed up, how am I going to pay this bill? Lotto is giving you a chance to be the lucky one, and you just need to have 50 bob, 50 Kenyan shillings only. Go to Lipa na M-Pesa, pay bill number is 777-000, and account number is D.TV. Be the lucky winner today and get 700,000, or preferably get a Pro Box. Your last remarks.
My last remarks is every queen wears a crown.
Wow.
And behind every crown, there is a story. What is your story? Make it a success story. Make it a story of conquering and winning a certain battle. A crown does not have to be a physical crown. This can be a crown of quality and the value you attach to yourself as a woman.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for that. Every queen wears a crown. It doesn't necessarily mean to be a physical crown. Wow, I will go with that home.
Of course.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for keeping it here at DAESAK TV. This is the Queen's Talk Show, the realest show. And let's meet tomorrow the same time, the same place. This is DAESAK TV. Be here every time to get the realest shows ever.